Good morning, people that are interested in stuff. I just said to the man whose name I don't even know that I have no knowledge, no plan, no script for this video, no talent, but an expensive camera. So we'll start at the beginning. My name is Henning. Good morning. What is yours?
My name is Max. Good morning to you. You want to say Massimiliano if you're daring, but Max is fine.
You do not sound very Italian, Maximiliano.
100% born and raised here, but I ended up marrying an American, so I get a lot of practice.
That's a born and raised Italian who just practices with a wife? I get it. What? No.
Yep.
That's a dead-on American accent.
What can I say? My last name is Monterosso, which means red mountain, and it's a hill 13 kilometers from here.
Would have never in a million years, because usually when the Italians speak English, there's an A at the end of every single fucking word.
I can do that if you want.
But go.
I've done it before at a show in the States. I had to present my guitars, and I went up to the stage like, "Good morning, everybody. I am Max. I'm from Italy." And then I was like, "I'm sorry, I can't do it anymore." Everybody just started laughing and cracked up.
Addy and I, we talked about this in the morning. Obviously, when you speak French, all you got to do is speak English and put le in front of everything. That we know that, yeah? Le guitar, le show, le camera, all good. That's French. When you want to be, a little bit xenophobic and just wrong, then you say on every word in Italian, you just say an A. It's guitarra. It's a table. It's a maxa. It works. It's a camera.
You just put some pasta in it.
Yeah,
rounds it up.
Pasta. And you do this, and all of a sudden, bam! It's fucking Italian. Obviously, anything you say in any language while wearing lederhosen is German.
Yeah, probably.
That's the rule.
Yep. Or holding a beer.
Now that we've offended many people, let's talk about your guitars.
Yep.
I was drawn in here because of the blue one.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are custom projects for customers. So anything that's like super mega specced out and weird, obviously the customer wants, the customer gets.
Yeah.
So why don't we do this? I point it in the camera and you tell us something about it.
All right. Well, it's a double cut, carved top, mahogany back, and maple top with some nice Spira custom pickups and a pretty clever pickup mounting system that's made of the same wood of the top. And unfortunately discontinued Skyway bridge, which is fantastic and has the springs mounted vertically, so you don't have any opening in the back. And the customer wanted a custom neck profile, pretty big knot spec. I think this is a 46 millimeters, which is unusual for an electric guitar. Custom inlay, what else? Compound radius, carbon fiber reinforced, double action truss rod. It's a pretty light instrument, you're holding it up. And the usual split coil and push and double tone, and that's
everything wood.
Everything wood. There is no plastic in this guitar except for the bobbin covers.
So the one thing I said, yeah, of course, it feels almost like a nylon string. Mm-hmm. It's 46 is compared to the normal 42, maybe 43, is pretty drastic. And the first thing I said, I love it except the upper horn, but that was request of the customer.
Yep.
Customer wants, customer gets. So the normal horn that Max does is this. That's a little bit heavier.
Yep.
It's a beautiful top. I mean, put that in a turquoise and you got me right there.
Okay.
It's of course natural, but I mean, what an amazing, imagine you stained this piece.
Yeah, that was a very beautiful top. And as you see, we actually purposely left some of the vein of the wood.
You got it.
I could have totally cut that out, but I loved it, and it was just like it kind of matches if you turn it around, even on the neck. There's like this beautiful stripe of the black Carina, and we left it in because the guitar is made of wood, and it's nice for the wood to show.
I mean, the black Carina or black Limba also, absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorite woods.
Yep.
Look at those back covers that you can barely see.
Yep. That's actually sliced from the same piece of wood so that it's book matched. So the back gets sliced, and from the slice that comes off, you cut the covers.
And then you put it back. I can see it,
Yeah.
okay. And then custom woods. And it's very interesting because this one is actually an overdrive. It's
Yes.
a 5-stage overdrive. And there's a piezo, which you can switch back here and mix it in. Nothing in the fretboard, which I like. Beautiful volute, amazing tuners. It's a gorgeous guitar. And when I was holding it yesterday and asked Max, so what's the price point on that? I had to ask him 3 times. Because I would have easily, with my knowledge of some guitars and looking at the craftsmanship and the woods and really the attention to detail, which is, again, the craftsmanship is phenomenal. Sometimes on smaller builders, they come to these shows and you look at the details and you're like, yeah, okay, there's some glue or not nicely filed off. I mean, this is a guitar that I would easily put $4,000 on it and not bat an eye. And you said how much?
This would be without, this has like some extra stuff, but this would be 2,000 and up.
2,000 and up, but I mean not 4 or 5 grand, which is easily what I would put on this with the materials. That was insane. But then Max said he doesn't even build electric guitars.
Yep. Which is not really true. I did build those.
So I'm gonna grab an acoustic. Slider, feels more like a hollow body.
It's very hollow.
So, just for shits and giggles, he put a stripe in there because he wanted to do extra work.
Yeah, and I didn't put it all the way, so I had to do more miter corners, so it's even extra work.
In the back where nobody sees. You're trying to make life hard for yourself.
No, it's a guitar that you discover. You pick up the guitar and there's little details here and there that you can find. There's a design theme that works with the logo. The bridge calls back to the logo. The headstock calls back to the logo. And the logo is actually a story on itself, because if you can look at it, it looks like an M, which is for Max. It looks like a Huff guitar, which is of course related to the fact that I make guitars.
Nice.
And when we started the interview, we were talking about Monte Rosso, the hill that is my last name. That's the exact shape of the hill. That's the shape of the hill behind my house,
that is
where my family
that
name
is
comes from.
Awesome.
So I had to use the logo and kind of like bring it back.
Just holding this is an absolutely beautiful piece of craftsmanship. Just look
Thank
at
you.
the Rosette, as we say in German.
Or rosette. Or rosetta.
The guitar's butthole. That's pretty much what that is. You know I had to go there, right?
The belly button.
The big ass belly button. I'm not an amazing acoustic player, but I'll go down for you, not on you, and I'll play it a bit. I'll be right back. Actually, mic me, come on. Very nice. So, shock us. How much do I pay for this? No, wait. How much do they pay for it? Because obviously we're best friends now. I would pay less. Obviously.
Okay. An acoustic guitar starts at 3,000, and then of course you can get all the options you could dream of. So, cutaway, arm bevel, fan fret, stainless steel, all sorts of wood, custom rosettes. What else? Every rosette is actually different. I've never made the same rosette twice.
Okay.
As standard, you get a compound radius, carbon fiber, reinforced neck, double action truss rod, usually Goto 510 or these. This is actually a very, very light guitar, and so I went for open back tuners because otherwise it would get too head heavy.
Okay, makes sense.
It's so light, so.
I wasn't going to comment on the crappy Schaller tuners on there, but if he's...
Grand tune. It's not the crappy ones.
Yeah, but Schaller in general they've dropped the ball lately.
Well, I have to say, I got the first batch of these ones when they made it, and I had to have them replaced. They were fine, but the buttons in the back they would vibrate. But I called them up, and 2 weeks later, I had all the sets replaced.
But but you know what? That story I get from every luthier. They sent me something, and it didn't work, and I had to send it back. Every luthier has the same Schaller story, and that's why I'm bullying them so much in those videos, because they need to up their game. It's just not right to send out crap, and it happens all the freaking time.
If you have to do it twice, it's not really a good business model. But to their, I mean, at least they send it back and then they.
Well,
send it right.
yeah, well, that's called warranty.
No, I know, but still, it's better.
If I get this guitar and it's crap, you bet your sweet ass I'm going to send it back.
Yeah, no, this is fine.
No, this is absolutely beautiful, and again, for a custom-made acoustic guitar starting at 3, that's absolutely fine. But you said primarily you actually built something completely different.
Yes. So on top of the acoustic line, which is like this is my Thames model, which is a 15-inch across, kind of like an OM style. Then I have the Columbia, which is a Grand Auditorium, 16-inch across, and the Danube, which is a big jumbo, kind of like J200 territory, but much more comfortable to hold because it's ergonomically. There's a few tricks on the design of that guitar. And then I build a soprano guitar, which is tuned A to A, like a mini guitar. It's absolutely fantastic to play. And then I built those babies. This is harp guitars.
But you don't even have one here.
I don't have one, a completed one, no, unfortunately. I'm finishing one right now. Nick, please wait, it's coming. I have this one that was an old project. But I mean, so harp guitars, basically, for those who don't know, it's a guitar with an extra arm that's hollow and to which extra strings get attached, usually bass. The standard nowadays is like 6 bass strings, and then you can have super trebles on the other side, so extra strings on top, and it's a whole different beast to play.
Is the guitar part an actual guitar?
Yeah, so the 6 strings is usually a normal guitar, and then you have these free strings, so there's no frets, there's nothing. So you tune them to whatever you have to tune them, and you just reach out and play with the.
Do you tune again for each song, kind of?
You can, and that is why. And I'm sorry I don't have it here, but that is why sometimes you mount the sharpening levers on the bass, so you actually have 6 notes. And then you can, tune them up half a step.
Like on an actual harp. So on an actual harp, the foot pedals, you can see harpists, driving these things. What's happening is actually they're detuning the strings, actually whole sets of strings. So an F can go to F sharp and so on. And so it is an open tuning, but they change the open tuning. So don't do trills between F and F sharp, for example, because, well, they would literally have to go and do the foot pedal. How do I know that? I did stuff with a harpist once, so I can see.
All right. Or you can have actual levers on each string, also on harps. So
really? Okay.
The hardware we use is actually meant for harps. And so it basically is like a capo that pinches the string where the first fret would be on that string.
I'd love to show you those things, only Max doesn't have any.
I didn't finish it, but you can go on my website. There's plenty of photos.
Salesman.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the pitch. So the website is maxmonte.com. Pretty easy. And then the harp guitars, there's a whole section with the harp guitars there. And I built 2 models, nylon strung, which is this one, and then a steel strung one, 6 or 7 sub basses. And the bass actually goes down to F or E, so you can go down an octave. So they're tuned, like a chromatic scale. So you actually have a bass for everything you play, basically. And then the crazy thing about that is because you have all these extra strings and the sound box is so much bigger, even the sound of the regular 6 strings is very different. Because
it's free-floating strings, they will resonate, right?
Stephen Bennett, who is one of the foremost harp guitar players in the world.
And of course, we all know him.
Yeah, and if you don't know, check him out because he's awesome. Now he shaved his mustache, otherwise he looks exactly like Einstein. But he says the hardest thing about harp guitar is stopping the strings that don't need to resonate.
I would assume so, yeah.
But think of playing a guitar as if you were playing a piano with a sustain pedal, always pressed down. So there's a lot of stuff going on, which is why usually you don't build harp guitars with very resonant back and sides woods. Otherwise, it would be too much.
Okay.
It'd be really hard to find a harp guitar built out of rosewood because it's very chimey, very resonant. And so traditionally, like in the early 900s, you would see mahogany, kind of like a drier wood. For the European ones, walnut, which is basically all I use for harp guitars because it's got that drier sound. And still, there's a lot of resonance and a lot of stuff going on, even when you're just playing the regular 6 strings.
Obviously, because those strings will vibrate along, and you will hear those low notes whether you want to or not. And it's probably very difficult to actually mute those somehow.
It's right there. So your arm is right there. So it's not, you get the hang of it. And it's actually very, I feel like it's very involving to play. It's like something you want to play on your own, just sitting there, and there's like this sound that kind of like envelope, because like even you're holding it different because you have this arm right there, your ears right there. You can actually, the side of the arm resonates too. It's like having a little speaker there. There's a lot going on. It's a magical instrument to play. Once you get over the fact that you're like, what the hell am I holding now? So
it's obviously involved to build. So let's talk pricing.
All right. Well, harp guitars start, the whole harp guitar thing is hard to find wood because it's all different sizes. You have to make the cases custom because everything is non-standard. So you start for basically like 4,000 and then up. And then again, the options are basically limitless.
And a very small market, I would assume.
And a very small market of very dedicated players.
So the more exclusive the kind of instrument is, the more it kind of has to be in terms of pricing, because you go into a very specific kind of guy to build it, so that's an expertise you pay for. And also, you're not building 400 a year, so you got to price it accordingly to, make a living. Yeah. That makes sense. But if you're in the market for a harp guitar, or just an acoustic, or even an electric, which for him is, if you can build harp guitars, that's just like, who cares?
Pretty much.
Acoustic builders laugh about electric because you slap a couple pieces of wood together, put some glue on it, rub it in, I don't know, and some wires on top of the glue. I don't know how a guitar's built, but something like that. And then you have a guitar. So for him, that's like, haha, what are you guys doing? So go to the website, something, probably IT.
.com, Maxmonte.com.
Maxmonte.com, that's easy. Yep. Maxmonte.com. When you're typing it in, type it with your left hand, do that with your right hand, and then you're gonna arrive. Maybe just mash the keyboard, but do that with your right hand, automatically arrive at the website. Thank you, Max.
I thought I had it here, but it just says Maxmonte.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. I'm a professional. Thank you for your time. Right, you guys have been awesome, and we're gonna put some animals at the end, as always.
I had to leave you